God damn, man. Everything is fucking down, even my fucking internet. God. Thought I tried. Yeah, even my internet's not fucking. Got drop frames like a motherfucker, dude. This is just a test. Just a test, man. I don't know what else I can do, man. Reinstalled everything, turned off shit. This is a damn near new computer. This is a new computer. This ain't even the one I use. God damn. Is it still? Yeah, it's not. It's not running right, man. Cause I'm still getting that yellow code. Oh man, and this is the perfect time that I want to have. I guess there's so much to say. There's so much to say right now, man. Look, the futures is down so much. They're basically halting futures action right now. This thing is about to fall off a fucking cliff. And what's really pissing me off is that I'm not in the market as big as I probably should be considering the action. I should be in the market way bigger than I am now. But hindsight is 2020, right? Because I was so focused on the fact that we were going to see a bounce. I thought we were going to get a bounce. I'm still exposed. I'm still exposed, but man, I could have made way more money considering what's going on now if I increased my exposure going into the weekend. But these people are funny, man. These people are funny with the Federal Reserve. Go ahead and refresh. Refresh. It looks like things are clearing up now. Shout out to everybody in the chat room right now. Said remove the video feed just so you just want me to talk and turn off my camera. That would probably help some things. I didn't think of it that way. Bats, you said stop looking so serious. My thing is, you dream about a collapse, man. But then I start thinking about I do know some elderly people who have exposure to the market. Luckily, I'm so pessimistic. I got my old man out, and he's all in GLD. I went back home about 2 weeks ago, and I did a presentation for my parents about GLD and how great it is. And so I'm very excited about what GLD is going to look like tomorrow morning and for the next several weeks. Nobody should be exposed 80% gold, but I'm very happy that I got my folks exposed on that kind of level. Because I just feel like if you're going to put your money somewhere, I don't know where else better to put your money. Because you got to work it somewhere. You got to work it somewhere. What's up, JL Turn? Shout out to everybody in the chat room, man. A crash is best to happen for the middle class. Absolutely. This is the best thing. Look, this is the best thing that could happen for anybody who owns less than $1 million liquid cash. This is the best thing that can happen. It's going to get even better once you start seeing people getting laid off. See, once people start getting laid off, then then the apartments prices start coming down. The current value of housing starts going down, right? So we have to look at the jobs numbers that are going to come out in the next several days and weeks ahead. And that's where you're going to, that's why a part of me, I can't wait till the market opens because I'm already looking at some of the housing stocks, some housing ETFs, some very liquid housing players. That's where I want to be next, man. Okay. That's where I want to be next. Start pulling up some home builders, man. That's where I want to be next. Because I'm telling you right now, you could have 0% interest, but if you got motherfuckers out of a job, ain't no houses being built. Okay? I'm going to have John on the show on Tuesday. Hopefully things will be a lot better. I'm going to work out what's going on my end in terms of the internet by then. But I had to come out and say something. I know most of the guys are asleep, but I can't go to sleep with the market the way it is. Look, they've shut down the futures. It's gotten so bad they shut down the futures market. That it's that bad. You know? It's gotten that bad. So when I look at the futures market shut off, right? Shut off. I'm thinking we're set to open up, guys. We can open up right at the circuit breaker. I'm talking 7% out the gate lower. 7% out the gate lower. This could get really ugly, man. All right. Here's gold pulling back a little bit from that 1708, 1709 high. That was ridiculous to see. I'm all the way back here. I'm selling puts all the way in the back because this thing is so wild. So I'm not playing it close. I'm all the way back here because these pullbacks could be deadly. Shout out to everybody who bought my course. That's where you want to be. You want to be all the way in the back here. We're looking for that 90% probability. All right, go heavy back here. Everybody wants to get excited. $1,700, $1,800, $20 silver. Let it come. What else are you guys looking at, man? Oh man, guys are gonna get killed tomorrow on Amazon, man. They're going to get killed tomorrow on Amazon. I was thinking about picking some up in this area, but I don't know. I probably might leave that alone now. People are afraid because the virus is making the stock market crash. They should be afraid, man. Look, ladies and gentlemen, we've got over 77 million people in this country who are considered senior citizens. Okay? 77 million people. 13 million of them are people who have pre-existing conditions, serious medical ailments. 3 to 4 million of those people have no health insurance whatsoever. For whatever reason, either they have they may have, came into some kind of money or something like that where they just don't get Medicare, Medicaid, or whatever that thing is for older people. They just don't get it. So these are people who can die. These 3 million possible people in this country who could die over the age of 65, who could die from this thing, man. And this is not China. We can't quarantine like we want to. This is not China where we can just tell people, hey, you can't come outside your house. We can suggest that. But we can't stop people from leaving. I had the naming issues. Your course. Yeah, my course is still available, JL Turn. Still available. I got to go through and change some things in terms of the naming issue. But yeah, it's still millionairetradingacademy.com. But I'm going to have to dump that because I didn't even know your boy had A millionaire trading. This is a pastor with a millionaire trading academy. Hilarious. Somebody said the market is rigged as fuck. Absolutely. Look, a Ponzi scheme can only go for so long. A Ponzi scheme can only go for so long. And this is what you are watching, ladies and gentlemen. The end of a Ponzi scheme. All right? The end of a Ponzi scheme where cheap money can no longer be the solution for a declining revenue environment. Right? The coronavirus is going to end up being a godsend in hindsight. It's going to get painful going through it, but it's going to be a godsend for the restoration of fundamental investment in this country. We're gonna go back to understanding and being, in love with the fundamentals again. Being in love with companies that really generate revenue. Being in love with companies that grow shareholder value. This is going to destroy the companies that borrow on leverage and use the excuse of growing exponential, growth as an excuse to borrow and over leverage themselves. Banks are literally betting against retail traders. They make up 80%, not just inflation. They have cops in military. Yeah, that's another fear of mine too, as well, is that this coronavirus could be used to take away some of our fundamental rights in this country. And that's something we need to be very vigilant about too, as well. So I'm going to need my gun-toting patriots out there. I need y'all to be on watch, man. I need y'all to be out there on watch, because please believe that there are individuals in the government who are already conspiring to take away our rights to organize, in particular, and to mass protest, and so just be aware, and we have to be vigilant, particularly on a local level. Some of you liberal states, you live in these liberal cities where people think they know better than the people that they are supposed to represent. You guys are the ones I fear for the most, because liberals always think that they're better than the people that voted for them. They think they're smarter than everybody. What should we buy tomorrow? Well, it'd be too late to buy TLT, but I don't know. I think tomorrow you might stay out of it, man. Well, TLT has been the runner for the last several days. These treasury bonds, but TLT will probably gap up $20. This probably might go up to $188. If you need to get into something, GLD is probably the safest place to be, but that gap up might be dangerous. I don't know where it's going to end up, but understand that gold is going to go higher, $200, $300, $400 by the time this is all done. We could see gold at $1,900 an ounce, maybe even $2,000. So I'd put myself in some gold, some silver if you want as well. Stay out of GDX or some of those gold, because they're just not getting a bid for whatever reason. I don't know what it is about the gold stocks. They're just not getting a bid. Maybe this changes. 3M for mask and stuff. The thing about it is that they don't make that much money on the mask, though. And 3M, you got to be careful with 3M, is because their exposure to China is still very, for the most part, still relatively dangerous as a company. So we've got to be very careful for that. What's going on, Money Stay Woke? Speaking of Money Stay Woke, how could anyone go to sleep right now? I don't see how anybody can go to sleep right now with what's going on here. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to see the SPY. Just based on some simple math, we could see the SPY. God damn. We could see the SPY tomorrow down about $14. About $14. About $14. Leon says, thanks for the about free pre-foreclosure. Man, look, there's going to be a ton of foreclosures in a couple months. There are going to be a whole lot of foreclosures coming on the market. That's besides the fact that, again, we've got about 21 million homes that are going to come for sale in the next 5 to 7 years because these baby boomers are going to be at the height of their retirement. And as much as they say live to 70, or, well, I don't know, that might get delayed now because some of these guys are going to have to end up working until 75. That's how bad it's going to probably get. I told these baby boomers, I told them something was going to come. These people over 65, 70, these are some of the people, they think they know it all too. They think they know it all too. Now you about to get your ass handed to you. You about to be a Walmart greeter, motherfucker. Talking down on young folks for the last 20, 30 years. Now your ass is going to get an apron. And you're going to stand there and wave on your feet for 8 hours. Nigga. Zoom puts tomorrow. Oh, I don't know. You're going to have a nice little gap down though, man. I don't know. Man, this is. See, I was just looking for the. We're so oversold, but then again, oversold doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get a bounce, right? But god damn. I mean, look, I'm as big of a short seller as anybody, but I'd love to see some relief because it ain't fun shorting stocks with 20 RSI. You know what I'm saying? It ain't fun buying puts. You know what I'm saying? Somebody talking about buying XOM. Look at XOM, bro. 13 on the RSI. How do I How do I sell or buy puts 13 on the RSI? It's like I'm waiting for that shit to come right up my ass. I'm waiting for it to come up my ass. If you're buying puts, you want to, buy puts into strength. So, when we're at the 60 RSI, right? Or maybe we're at 40 and breaking lower. Or you wanna buy when we're overbought, right? Selling into strength or buying that position into strength. But to buy here, which is interesting because this will gap down. The high probability trade on XOM, believe it or not, is to buy a weekly call. At the gap where this opens up at, if you got some guts, let's say this opens up at 32. All right. Buy the $30 call for this week and see what happens. It'd be cheap as fuck. It'd probably be like 10 cents or some crap like that. And what you're hoping for is the Federal Reserve's doing some kind of emergency action, which is highly likely right now. Highly likely right now. Look, they're going to feel the heat. The politicians are going to feel the heat in the morning, man. They're going to get the emails. They're going to get the calls. White America has predominantly most of their wealth in stocks and real estate. So, tomorrow morning, these people are waking up in the morning down hundreds, thousands, millions, billions of dollars. This is where their wealth is. This is where their wealth is. But for those of you guys who have no wealth, this is going to be the greatest opportunity that you can ever dream for, man. Seriously, we're going to be able to get some great companies at prices that you just, looking at companies like Amazon, which is, again, another company that runs on losses, right? Runs on losses. But again, the funny business could take place. We could end up in a situation where the Federal Reserve comes out and buys stock. They literally want, that is what happens in Japan. In places like Japan, that's what happens out there. Their Federal Reserve goes out and just buys stock in the open market. And don't be surprised if you hear calls for the Federal Reserve to go out and buy in the open market. If you want to talk about a bubble that could happen, imagine when Uncle Sam can go into the stock market and buy stocks like Amazon. Oh, these stocks would go to $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 a share. Easy. They don't give a damn about the deficit. They don't give a damn about the deficit, man. These folks, look, all they care about is greed, man. Is what about me? What about my situation? I told you, the baby boomers are the greediest generation this country has ever had. They have already decided to sell their grandchildren down the pipe to have an enjoyable retirement. Most of their grandchildren are in debt up to their eyeballs, thousands of dollars. Right? They don't give a fuck about anybody else but themselves. Oh, yeah, absolutely, LK Rod. They sold us out a long time ago, man. Enslaved their grandchildren in debt. Sent some of their grandchildren to go out and die in Afghanistan and Iraq for the military-industrial complex and Halliburton. People don't give a fuck about no deficit, man. They was ready to go to war a couple of weeks ago with Iran. They didn't give a fuck about the deficit. They was ready. You saw the videos. They had them lined up at the airport, ready to go. Do you think the S&P will drop 50%? Absolutely, it could. It very well could. Look, the reason why we were able to lose, let me go back to the futures market, which is, by the way, again, closed. The reason why we were able to lose so much value on the exchange as we have had in the last week and a half is because that wasn't real value. That wasn't real growth, man. That was paper growth. It was a term that came out in the early to mid 1980s. Okay, hold on. Can y'all still see me? I think I dropped for a little bit. I don't know if YouTube playing with me or what. No, I'm here. In the mid 1980s, it was called paper tiger. Japan was the paper tiger. Now we're the paper tiger. I took my video off. I took my camera off. It was just adding to the bandwidth and dropping frames like crazy. I don't know what's going on my end, but I got them coming tomorrow to figure it out. I put out a video last night just talking about how don't buy the dip just yet, man. Now with this dip that we're gonna get tomorrow, you might want to take a chance on that. You might want to take a chance on that because that wherever that bottom is going to be, that's probably where you're probably going to want to be because the White House has got to do something tomorrow. Got to do something tomorrow because the cases are only going to accelerate. Understand the cases are only going to accelerate from now on. Plunge protection stream trying to hijack the stream. Yeah. Y'all funny, man. I got caught in a dip over this weekend. Yeah, man. I don't blame none of y'all, man. I don't blame none of y'all for getting caught up in this because, buying the dip has worked for a long time. Buying the dip has worked for a long time. This is the weekly. This is the candlestick we closed with. All right. If you would have looked at this on Friday at 2:30, 3 o'clock, you would have said, you know what? It looks like we've got some support down there at 28.50. We've got some support down there at 28.30, right? Why don't I get in here and see what happens? Unfortunately, this is what's happening right now. This is what's happening right now. Let me zoom in on the daily. This is what's happening right now. All right. And again, the futures market is practically closed because they've said that the futures market basically has a 5% limit. So the futures market can only go up or down by 5%. Said Bitcoin even took a big hit because understand that when a market is going down, people sell anything, even Bitcoin. When a market is crashing, people will sell anything. Anything they got that they can liquidate, they will sell. That's why gold is going down a little bit now. Gold should be going much higher. Gold should be at like 1750 right now. But people don't know what the hell is going on. They're selling whatever they got. You don't think there are going to be some margin calls tomorrow? Huge margin calls. And you're going to see gold collapse. You're going to see gold probably come back and touch 1650. Who knows? Say, yeah, time to increase your distribution on that 401k. Absolutely, man. If you don't have a 401k now, get yourself at your company, get signed up now. This is probably the best time to get it. But the problem is that we're going to end up going much lower. So, if you're into that dollar cost averaging bull crap, and also, there are a lot of reasons probably not to get into a 401k because, a lot of people on their own can outperform a 401k. But I understand the free money part of it. I understand we might be going to war down the line. China is hinting at a virus didn't originate from China. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. These Chinese people have been all into that biological warfare thing. It came out of that Wuhan biological warfare facility that they have in Wuhan. Understand, Wuhan is a city of 11 million people. This is bigger than New York and Dallas put together. Wuhan is not like some backwater city, man. Wuhan is a big fucking city. They were up to no good out there, and it got out to the population. And I've said it in that video. I don't believe a goddamn thing what they're saying about it getting better in China. I think they just want to save face because that's what Asian people do. Asian people, when they're embarrassed, they become inwardly and they just go all out to just kind of pretend like everything is A-okay when it's not. So I don't believe a goddamn thing what's coming out of China right now. Do you think this is the beginning of a recession? Absolutely. This could be the very beginning of the recession. Coronavirus is going to cause the recession. The problem is that in America, we've had this ability to starve off recessions by simply easing the money supply. Well, it doesn't work if you're in a low to zero revenue environment. You can lower the price of money all you want, but if you're highly leveraged and you're not generating any revenue, your loan still has to get paid. But if you don't have money to pay it, now you've got to lay off people, and then that just kind of starts the trigger effect. You've got no choice but to lay off people. And watch, you're gonna start talking. You're gonna start hearing them saying, "Well, why don't we just give every American $1,000 or some shit like that, like they're doing in Hong Kong right now, where they're giving everybody $2,500." That's what they're doing in America right now. Yeah, we're gonna start doing that welfare that we all, so many of us say is oh, that's un-American. You got to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Now they're going to be the same people talking about, well, why doesn't America just, cut everybody a check and we can get the economy going again? Oh, yeah, you're going to hear that. Said layoffs last week. You said you do 401k right now. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with a 401k. I'm just saying, this for a lot of young people, they can outperform the 401k. I mean, there are a lot of trades you can't do in a 401k. That could lead to much better performance. Looking at support levels, 275, 260. We'll see, man. I mean, I don't know. Nobody thought that 2,800 was coming. Nobody knew that 2,800 is coming. We're gonna crack through 2,800 like a biscuit tomorrow. We're gonna go right through 2,800. I'm looking at 2,750 as the next level. If we crack 2,750, then you can possibly look at here's 2,750 area here. All right, not too much further down. Right, 2,750 area. All right, I'm looking at it here. If we crack through 2,750, then yeah, maybe 2,600. All right, we got a lot of support at 2,600. Let me mark it down so everybody can see it. All right, so here's my level for tomorrow. Here's okay, it changed it. Here's the secondary level. And basically here's where we're fucked if that happens. Oh, come on, stop doing that. All right. And then here's where we're completely fucked if this happens. If we really go back and test that 2445 level tomorrow. Oh man, that'd be absurd. Absolutely. The word absurd would fit very appropriately. Bro, my internet is just janky as fuck today. I don't know what is going on. My shit is janky as fuck today, bro. I apologize for my stream today, bro. This shit is janky as fuck. I apologize for my stream today, fellas. I apologize for my stream today. But my shit is janky as fuck right now. Man, this is gonna get ugly, man. He said we should short my stream. It's hilarious, man. You know what though? That's HM is so funny, man, because is it just me, or once you become a successful trader, which I would say I am now, I've become so cheap now, man. I have become so cheap. So cheap, man. And it's starting to get a little bit annoying to the people around me, but I just, I've gotten so cheap. I gotta work on that. Have I tried to reboot my router? Yeah, I did reboot my router. I already called them to come out. I already called them to come out tomorrow, and I might just go out and get another one. Get a new box or something, man. Getting a new box has always been the way that seem to solve all my problems when I get a new box. Get a Wi-Fi extender. Okay. All right. Say you enjoy your life with money, even life is too short. You're right. You're right. But I've gotten kind of cheap. I've gotten kind of cheap since the money started rolling in. I was much more irresponsible when I first got into the business doing penny stocks and stuff like that. You'd get a bag of 15K for promoting it, and I'd blow through 10 easy. Everybody got to be 100% of the time. Too short is a legend. Okay. Because this is your first year in the market. God damn, what a first year to be in the market. What happens? Tickers like TLT if bonds go down 50%. Well, bonds are. I mean, yeah, of course. If the yield expands, right? If we're someone said the 10-year will open up at 0.30 tomorrow. If they can get the yield back above 1, then yeah, TLT will come down. And yes, you'll lose money. But TLT is rising because there's so much demand for treasury bonds right now. Oh my God, man. This is crazy. This is insane. This is becoming unwatchable, guys. So I'm about to let y'all go here in just a bit, because it's starting to just become unwatchable. I'm irritated just looking at the screen. Now, this is crazy because I don't have nothing running right now. I don't know. Maybe my Nord VPN. Maybe my VPN is fucking up. Is it maybe my VPN? Oh, shit. Yeah, I mean, you said they're going to take down the internet? I don't know what the fuck is going on, man. This is horrible, though. God damn. Y'all can still hear me, though? Can y'all still hear me? I don't want to start talking crazy if I can still be. You said Legendary 8 said, yeah, that can affect it sometimes. I got that Nord VPN. I thought it was protecting me because I love to download shit off the internet. And my torrents, I don't have any torrents running right now. But anyway, going back to the market, guys, man, I think I think you got to be a call buyer here soon. I think you got to be a call buyer here soon. There's going to be some kind of emergency action that's going to take place. That's going to give guys a nice little boost, and that boost is not going to work. I don't think that boost gets us back to where we were. But I can see a day or two where people think, are we all in the clear? Where those kind of questions start developing. You know what I'm saying? Buy silver, get rid of that Bitcoin. Oh man, if you're still in Bitcoin, it's just at this point, I think you're just playing yourself to be a fool if you're still in Bitcoin. Bitcoin has not proved itself to be what it should be over the last 2 weeks. You got to be really disappointed with the way Bitcoin has been trading over the last 2 weeks. Really disappointed. Tariq recommended me. Who, Tariq? Tariq Nasheed? Yeah, we can hear you. What's good, Sal? If you can fluctuate your speed at times. Okay. I agree. It won't be a straight drop to the bottom. There'll be up days. So calls make sense. Yeah, I think again tomorrow we're gonna hit. We're gonna hit the switches tomorrow. We're gonna be down 7%. They're gonna shut the market down for an hour, and when that opens up, I think we still continue to go lower. But there's gonna be a bottom. There's gonna be a bottom somewhere here, where you're gonna get some kind of action by the Federal Reserve, the White House. Something is going to happen. Some kind of news is going to happen, because right now we ran more aggressively than the virus. To be honest with you, we're kind of in front of the virus now, a bit aggressive, a little too aggressive now. Trust me, I want the market to go. I want to see the SPY go down to single digits myself. You know what I mean? I'd love for us to go back to these 1996 prices. You know what I mean? When the SPY was like, you could buy the SPY with pocket change. I'd love to see that happen again. But as someone said, it won't be straight down. They shut Canada's down last week. Okay. So I'll check back 2018. Last time oil prices crashed, took 15 to 60 days. Yeah, but my problem is that why am I not seeing a discount at the pump, though? You know what I'm saying? Why am I not seeing a discount at the pump? Yeah, here's crude right now. Here's crude right now. And crude is an interesting one, too, for those of you guys who play futures. I would definitely be selling those $30 calls, E-mini calls in crude, if you got some money on the sidelines, because I think crude can very well go. Oh shit! My bad. It's already gone below. God damn! It's already below 30. We opened up at 34. Damn! I had that idea in my head, like, all right, well, can't act on it now. Shit. God damn! That was fast as fuck. I had been watching crude. I was like, okay, if crude breaks below, god damn. Shit. You got to be quicker than that. Okay, all right. Shit. Demand for oil is still high, maybe? No, demand for oil is going down. Yeah, just like HM said, demand for oil is going to all-time lows, man. There's going to be so much supply. It's ridiculous. Say goodnight to the U.S. shale industry. The U.S. shale industry will go broke by the end of the week if we maintain these prices. U.S. oil business. I don't know if we can produce oil at $28 a barrel WTI. Can we do that? I'm sure I got somebody in here who's really good at crude. I don't think we can produce profitable crude at 28. Goldman Sachs warning of $20. Jeez. Yeah, I mean, we go back, here's that 2016 somebody was talking about. Here are those lows. And if I can go back to the weekly, put more time in here. Good Lord. 99 at $9 a barrel. I don't know. Again, I doubt these are split adjusted, but could we see $11 crude again? Could we see those prices that we enjoyed as children? You guys remember 79 cents, 89 cents gas? I remember that. I remember 89-cent gas. I remember those days. U.S. shale needs oil to be at 60. Oh, my God. So, Peter, we're talking about these companies running at losses, most of them that are already leveraged to the hilt, going out of bankruptcy. One of them, I think, I made a really good return on CSC. Was it? It was called CSC Resources or something like that. California Resources. Yeah, CRC. There we go. CRC. Made a killing on this. Made a killing on that, man. Great ticker. Small little oil play. Again, another one that was just kind of leveraged to the hilt. They're going to go out of business. They're a goner. What else? Saudi makes money. Yeah, I heard the Saudis can make money as low as $7. Even oil at 12. Saudi is. Yeah, they've simplified the system so much. And plus labor, of course, is like nothing down there. Got to be opportunities ahead. Just got to be aggressive. Absolutely. But be aggressive in a smart way. I mean, be aggressive in a smart way. You know, some of these things are getting a little bit ridiculous. You know, when you see companies like American Airlines trading at 4 times PE, I mean, that's, you got to go in here. If American Airlines opens up tomorrow in single digits, which is highly likely, right? Look at AAL. Pull that up. This is a company that flies 6 million people a year, has virtually no competition in South America. I mean, this is a long-term buy here. This is a long-term buy. You get American Airlines at $7.65. I mean, that could be life-changing money in a 10 to 20, 30, 10 to 20 year window for you. People are still going to travel, folks. People are still going to go around the world. They're still going to want to go and see the pyramids and the Great Wall of China and go down to, Mexico and Rio de Janeiro for the parade. I mean, this company, it's at 4 times earnings at $15. If you get this at 6 or 5 and you're basically trading 1 for 1, come on, man. You gotta snatch that up. Absolutely. Wealth change, that absolutely. But that's the thing though, is I want to get these kinds of prices, but I want to get them for the growth stocks. You know what I mean? I want to see PayPal at I would love to see PayPal at a single digit PE. I'd love to see an opportunity to get Amazon, at obviously Amazon, what were they, 83 right now? I'd love to see Amazon at 20 times earnings. I'd snatch that up. That's automatic buy, man. Automatic buy. What's the ticker for Southwest? All right. Spirit Airlines. Spirit doesn't even have international options. They're U.S. based. They're going to struggle right now. But Spirit Airlines is another one that, I think at the end of the day, America is the greatest country compared to anywhere else. And if there's one place you want to visit and do business in, it's this country. And I think Spirit will still be a player 5 to 10 years from now. All right. They're going to get this vaccine out. It's going to come out and it's going to solve all our problems. Southwest is love. Is it really love? Is it LUE? God damn. Oh, okay. All right. Weird ticker. Southwest. Look at that. 10 times earnings, man. Come on. This thing is going to open up tomorrow. Gap down at what? 36. I'd probably like to see that cut in half a little bit further, though, because I see here we've had its issues. All right, so let that come down a little bit further. But I was really looking at American Airlines. I mean, that's one you gotta just jump all over that one, man. Here's United. God, again, 4 times earnings. That's why I was talking about it, and I put out that video concerning IYT. I mean, look, if you love all, just, IYT is going to be at a very, very, dirt floor price soon. But unfortunately, there is some more pain ahead. There is more pain ahead. Again, they're saying they're not even going to get to human trials for this potential vaccine for another 6 to 7 months. So if you're just doing the math and we're at 500 cases, which was a 500% increase from 2.5 weeks ago, right? When we're at 100 cases. I mean, do the math on that, man. If we're multiplying by 500% every 2 weeks, go out 6 months, this is going to get ugly. This is going to get ugly. So, we've been talking about oil, Malik. Yeah, we've been talking about oil. We see it, man. Oil going to $20, probably lower. The cruise ships, yeah, Peter. CCL is one of my favorite. Carnival Cruise. That was my first cruise that I ever been on. Was the Carnival Cruise. All right, trading at 6 times earnings. I mean, good Lord. Look at that. We're back to some of these old $2.99 prices. Yeah, you're gonna get sub 20 on the cruise lines for sure. You're gonna get sub 20 on the cruise lines for sure. I mean, come on, pick it up, man. Pick it up. $8, $9 Carnival Cruise. Come on. You're gonna have to pick that up off the floor. Do you know how expensive it is to get into the cruise line business? This is a virtual monopoly. I mean, they got competition. Don't get me wrong, but I'm talking. There's not very much of it. It is a very expensive business. Very expensive business. I'd love to see Delta go down a little bit more. Yeah, Delta, I believe is DE. Is it DEL or DL, something like that, right? What's the ticker on Delta? Because I'm getting a lot of OTC. Oh, DAL. Okay, so I was right. DAL. Yeah. And all of these transport stocks, again, as I mentioned in my podcast, they really, they're very appropriately priced. I mean, you can't manipulate a transport stock because their margins are already, very thin on the product and services that they deliver on. So these are companies that, they can't leverage to the hilt like companies that are in other, lines of business, particularly when we talk about some of these growth stocks that can manipulate their numbers and do all kind of fancy financing. These are basically foolproof industries. This is where you want to put your life savings in terms of going the distance. Are these companies that are really the backbone of this country, man. TLT is up. Yeah, TLT, as I mentioned, is going to gap up $20 tomorrow, maybe even higher. China bought 50 furnaces that can burn 1,200 bodies per hour. Oh, man, they're losing. I have the opinion they're losing thousands per day. I understand China's an old country, man. They have that one-child policy. They're an old population. They've had that one-child policy for like 50, 60 years. So I'm not surprised that they're taking it on the chin out there, man. I'm not surprised at all. What are going to be big losers over the next several months ahead and weeks ahead are these former unicorns, that are, again, leveraged to the tilt. Wayfair, Grubhub, Square. I mean, these companies that have just, no PE at all. They're losing money. I mean, they're going to have to pay the piper, man. These are companies you can just, buy some puts, set it and forget it. They're going to die over the next couple months. Because those loans are going to come due. Their credit is going to tighten up because they've been running at losses for years. BYND. I don't think Beyond Meat's going to be able to escape it either. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Peloton. Oh, you guys know how I feel about Peloton. I've told you guys this for months on Peloton. That thing is going to zero fast. They were able to do some really funny math on their most recent earnings report, just to show that they're hanging in there and that the losses weren't that bad. But with what's going on now, I just don't think people are going to go out and get a $2,500 bike sitting at home. I just don't see it. Yeah. So, when we talk about opportunities tomorrow, I don't have it in my heart to short vol. I don't know how you guys do that shit. I don't have it in my heart to do that, but vol is going to go. It's going to be insane. Volatility tomorrow is going to open up at some insane number. And, I know somebody in here is going to go out there and buy some puts on vol. And I hope it works out for you. I really do. I hope it works out for you. I hope they come out and say they're just going to go out and just spend our grandkids' money and buy stock. And then you can see volatility, the VIX kind of come back below 30 on that. Magazagi said you bought the $2,500 bike? Okay. All right. A lot of that stuff just ends up as fancy looking clothes hangers. No vaccine will work perfectly engineered on a perfectly engineered biological weapon attack. Yeah, I've already read some people who are saying that this is all a false flag attack. I don't know any of the victims. Does anybody know here a victim of and I'm not saying I believe it. I don't have a tinfoil hat on. I do not believe that this is a false flag attack. Not at all. He said puts on VIX, not my. Yeah, it's too dangerous for me. I don't play volatility. That shit is way too crazy. Peloton people will short the gym and buy bikes at home. But who's going to deliver them? Who's going to deliver? You don't think FedEx and UPS is going to tell their people to stay home too? Why does everybody think that somebody's just going to be like, okay, yeah, coronavirus is out here, but sure, I'll go ahead and risk myself and keep making deliveries? They're going to say, like, fuck it, we're not going to deliver either. When you're in a quarantine, if you're in a quarantined area, you don't get Amazon packages. You know what I'm saying? If it's not food, I don't think you don't get to order, games to be delivered to you. You know what I'm saying? Am I wrong on that or what? I love the idea of Netflix. I saw somebody post that earlier. I love the idea of Netflix. I believe, the streaming, I think, you're going to sit at home and watch a lot of Netflix. You know what I mean? More pain. Oh, absolutely more pain for the banks. We're going to 0% interest. Their margins are already squeezed as it is. A lot more pain is coming for the banks. And you can see it in JPM and Goldman Sachs. You can see it in, XLF. I don't know how else. Look at that. Their margins are squeezed as it is. And what's crazy about us going to 0% interest that Donald Trump just doesn't seem to understand, when money gets that cheap, they become even more selective with who can get the money. That's what people don't understand. When money gets that cheap, you've got to prove you can pay it back. You basically don't You basically have to show that you don't need the money to get the money. Because again, their margins are so tight, they need to make sure you can pay them back. You know what I mean? That's the downside of negative interest rates. It gets even harder to get the money. Somebody said home sales will suffer. Well, home sales are going to suffer because companies are going to lay off people and people aren't going to have the money to get the loans. What I'm talking about is the fact that small businesses will not be able, for the most part, to be able to qualify for the money that they need because it's going to get so much harder. The requirements are going to get harder. All right. When interest rates are higher, when they can make more and charge their customers more, that's when restrictions go down. And it gets a little looser. You know? Now, if the federal government starts guaranteeing loans, that's a little different. All right. When they say this is 0% interest and we're going to guarantee, well, that's a whole different deal. That's a different deal. But if you're now at negative rates and you're still putting it all the risk on the banks, everybody's going to get tight. You know, 0% is not where we want to be. That shows that we're a weak country. That shows that we're losing it if we go down to 0%. That we've lost control. If that's the case, then you're going to see. I don't even know what happens to the pension plans in many of these states when we get down to 0%. I mean, if you're CalPERS, if you're, the New Jersey teachers pension, I mean, I don't know what happens to you. I don't know what happens to you. Now, the pension situation is not going to be an overnight thing because pensions are paid over 20, 30, years. But how do you make it out of this next year and a half? How do you find delta in an environment like this? Besides having to go back to the people who've contributed years and years of their life into the fund and say, okay, I need you to take 30% less. It's going to get ugly, folks. Oh, yeah, Trump. The best thing that can happen to Trump right now is the fact that the elections aren't tomorrow. That's the best thing that can happen. He's still got a chance because he can turn this all around if we get a cure. And a cure would be the best thing that ever happened. Man, you would see this market rally so hard. Oh, you'd see a 2,500 point day if tomorrow came out and there was a cure. Say Home Depot. Yeah, Home Depot will go into this shit too. Home Depot will go into shit too. I started my first stream telling you guys that the home builders are next. The home builders are next. Look up some of those, if you can find a liquid home builder ETF or some of these home builders, the Pulte Homes and all of them, they're next because, again, when companies don't make money, they've got to, lay off people. All right. And those people who are laid off, they can't pay for their mortgage. Mortgages go into foreclosure and companies like Home Depot pay the price. They're going to be great shorts over the next, 30 to 60, 90 days. Home Depot will be a great short. Heck, it's going to be a great short tomorrow. It's going to be a great short tomorrow. And Home Depot's got a lot of meat on that bone, boy. Whew. Good Lord, that's a lot of meat on that bone. What about Lowe's? Oh, yeah, Lowe's is another one. Lowe's is another one. Whole lot of meat on that bone. Lucretia Bolin, what am I shorting tomorrow? I don't have one. I'm actually looking at some things that I might want to buy tomorrow in very small sizes. very small sizes. Because I just don't think that the government is going to not do something or announce something tomorrow. I just don't think tomorrow is just business as usual for the Trump administration. I think he's going to be on the Fed's neck tomorrow. You know? So I'm looking at, if I'm very liquid, like an IWM, or you can go S&P 500. There's a ton out there. HM is saying VXRT. Is that the Corona stock where they're trying to do some vaccine? Trump about to let the birds sing. Oh, man, he's about to be on Powell's neck tomorrow, man. He is going to be on Powell's neck tomorrow morning. Oh, yeah. You think the Fed doesn't run the government? The way Trump talks to him, I don't know. He doesn't seem very powerful to me. You don't seem very powerful to me. Yeah, HM. I see, VXRT coming off the floor here. You go back to December, you made a lot of money in this stock, VXRT. He said he might yoke Powell up. Yeah, Powell's been Donald Trump's little bitch for the half of the year, man. Let's just keep it 100. Just to be a grown-ass man and have your boss talk to you like that. I couldn't do it. I don't know how he does it, man. And Powell supposedly is worth over $100 million. You got money, man. Just go home and don't let that man talk to you like that. Is the job really that good? Definitely won't touch crude. Here's crude, XOM. Yes, that's another one I'm thinking. Is Visa. Now, Visa is an interesting one because I don't know what happens to Visa and MasterCard in an environment like this. Obviously business slows down, but you still need a credit card processor, right? You still need so I'm thinking this could be a high probability, bounce scenario if there's one stock I can think of. I like Visa because I think Visa is more liquid than MasterCard, if I'm correct. Yeah, it's just almost double. Yeah, I like Visa a lot as a dip buying scenario. International transfers decrease. Do they make money on transfers like that? This is going to prove how toothless Trump and Powell really is. Okay. Cashless. I don't know, man. We're gonna find out. We're all just trying to figure this all out, man. We're all just trying to figure this all out. But my thing is, I have a hard time again shorting stocks that are already oversold as it is. That's a high probability trade that won't work out for you. That's not going to work out when you're shorting stocks at 20 RSI, 30 RSI. It's like you're asking for it. So I want to see stocks. I want to see stocks bounce so I can get in at better prices for a downside move. Shop, CMG, Shopify, Oh yeah, CMG is taking a huge hit. And by the way, CMG, incredible earnings numbers. Look, if we weren't going through this right now, Chipotle would be $1,000 stock right now. For those of you guys who understand this company, this would be $1,000 stock right now if we weren't going through what we're going through right now. But yeah, this is another one that comes down hard. Thank you for bringing it up. It's a little expensive for me, but of course you can use some spreads to play this. Boy, wow, 920 to 750, 720. Sheesh. The CEO stepped down. Yeah, they're about to go through a very tough period. All right, Mickey D's too. I didn't understand that bounce on Mickey D's on Friday. That was just weird as fuck. But McDonald's, that's another one I'm watching. Walmart was bulletproof for a week and a half before that finally took a. But Walmart is another one. But look, the problem with Walmart is that people are clearing their shelves like nothing else. So this is going to be something that might be able to stand the test of time, at least for the time being. At least for the time being. Cisco, yep, that's another one that's going to lose their ass. What is Costco's ticker? I know I'm spelling it wrong. Somebody can give me Costco's ticker. I appreciate it. But this Kroger. I heard Kroger. Yeah, here's Kroger. Kroger earnings were not as strong as people were hoping. I think it's cost. Is it cost? Yeah, look at that. As you can see, I'm not big on the retailers. Yeah. All right. So very, very similar to Walmart. Very similar to Walmart. Yeah. They're getting their shelves cleaned out, man. So this is going to be a nice, safe place for a lot of people, at least for the next couple of weeks. This is going to be a nice little safe place. Walmart, Costco. Do you only play options and not penny stocks? I just got tired of penny stocks, man. I got tired of the illiquidity. I got tired of the bullshit, man. It's just a lot of bullshit that comes to playing penny stocks. A lot of bullshit. Can you explain why Chipotle would be 1,000? Michael Thompson, you got to go back to their earnings report, man. They had been killing it, bro. Double-digit same-store sales. I think they've been doing double-digit same-store sales for like 3 years. Going back to Chipotle. They've been killing it. That's the sector to be in. That clean foods, eat healthy, eat clean. People, they're willing to pay a premium for that. And their numbers show it. Cash options account is best to get around PDT. Yeah, Square. Yeah, Square is another interesting one. I love their Cash App business. I think Cash App has changed the way business is done, man. Cash App is just amazing. I'm seeing a lot barbers. I'm seeing guys who do like these flea market things. They're out on Cash App. Cash App is incredible. Incredible product. But I need to learn a little bit more about Square. Coronavirus dies summertime. Fake relief dream is a fake relief. Well, the problem with people think that coronavirus dies in the summer is because they're looking at Africa and they're saying, well, corona isn't moving in Africa because, the warm, heavier air down there supposedly doesn't let the droplets, kind of spread out like it does in cooler climates. Again, I'm not a biologist or Anyway, I just don't know. All I can do is play the chart. What we need are not, Fed involvement or government. We just need a freaking cure right now. That's what we need. We just need a Manhattan Project to get this taken care of. AMD is, man, AMD, this is another one that I'm wondering, like, why is this hanging up here like this? I don't understand why AMD is hanging up here like this. This is another company that's got a lot of exposure to China. They need to come out and be honest about what sales are going to look like this quarter. And speaking of what things are going to look like this quarter, we're going to get a lot of revisions this week. There are a lot of companies that are going to have to be honest about their situation. One of them that I'm heavy on the short side in is Nike. I think Nike can possibly break below 70. I'm not, I think they could. It's highly likely. I think Nike can come out and I think they're going to say that the next 2 quarters are going to be some of the worst quarter they ever had. I really feel that way. Someone said cure in 18 months. That'd be great. Snapchat could hit single digit. We'll take a look at Snap in a second. But yeah, I'm heavy short Nike. I just think that's like one of those things that's like short. There's no short thing in trading, but high probability. Snap. Somebody said Snap could get back into single digits. Why would that go? What's the case for that? I don't want to know what's the case for Snap in the single digits. But they are heavily leveraged, though. They do have quite a bit of debt on their books. The last time I looked, here's another company that's not profitable. And again, I think when you read books like The Intelligent Investor and anything that Benjamin Graham's put out, he talks about how, when circumstances in the macro economy kind of get tight, people become more selective of what issues they put their money in. People flood to the best of the best. And that's where companies like Snap and some of these other ones could suffer. But I still think you got the best of the group, right? I mean, I think Facebook, companies like Facebook, although we'll take a hit, I still think, they make it through and hold some kind of value. I mean, right now, Facebook trading at 28 times earnings. If we get Facebook at below, I mean, damn, bro, if the Facebook gets below 100, I mean, we're talking, I'm just throwing out a PE. What if you get Facebook at like 15 times, 16 times earnings? Even with the slowing growth, that still makes it quite a buy. But I've already mentioned the fact that, many companies that have been leaders for the decade, what you notice is that the very next decade, they're not the leaders of the group as well. Facebook has some very, very profitable entities, one of them being that WhatsApp and an Instagram. But Facebook itself is now becoming like a legacy product. But I just think also, millennials, with the policies that are going to come out of this coronavirus thing, I think you could possibly see yourself coming out here with a New Deal program, man. A New Deal for the millennials. Government is just handing you money, bro. I don't know what that does to the dollar, but I could see it happening. So now, if that's the scenario, what does a company like Facebook look like, being that particular segment is, where their most of their penetration is, that kind of millennial, 25 to 35 or 45 customer. Now you're You're positioned to succeed. He said you can't wait for iRobot. iRobot. Yeah, this is another company I don't know much about. I know they got the vacuum cleaners and all that. But I have heard, I have read where people talk about the ease of entry into this. You know, this is not very much a well protected line of business. Somebody said PayPal. Yep, talked about PayPal. You know, this is another company that I would love to have again at 20 times earnings. You know, right now holding up very well because this is a company that's got a lot of demand. I mean, it's got a great business. You know, great customer loyalty. You know, brand awareness. I mean, you get a lot when you go long PayPal. You get a lot for that name. So 54 times earnings, I don't know about that. But if that can come down a little bit, if that can come down in half, oh, that's a steal. That's a steal. Somebody said, Pro Style said a New Deal under Trump. Why would you not think that Trump would want a New Deal program? Trump is not, bro, he's running deficits, man. He's running deficits just like Obama. If there's one guy who I think a New Deal program sounds great, it'd be Donald Trump to put that together. That populist spirit is still in him. I really believe that, man. I think he's wandered the last 2 years a little bit, but that populist spirit, I think, is still in him. Only China knows how to contain the coronavirus. Well, because it's a communist country. But again, I don't believe that they're containing it. I think they're just desperate now. They're just forcing people to go back to work. They've just said, fuck it. We're just going to live. We're just going to let it do what it's going to do. Futures has been halted for a while now. They again, you know, only 5% up or down. We're 5% down. They want to go lower. They're not letting you go lower. So what's going to happen is we're going to open and get, you know, it's going to flood down. It's just going to be a flood, man. I mean, the spreads on the futures as it is are so wide. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Starbucks. Yeah, I see, you know, somebody says Starbucks, yeah. Starbucks is another one that I don't know if they've already told about what they're going to guide for the quarter, but I expect that probably not to be very good. Trump will only sign policies that benefit the rich. I think public bailouts. Well, I don't know about that, man. He's been very adamant about prescription medication being a bit too expensive in this country. He's already signed legislation when it comes to criminal justice reform. Look, I think Trump, you know, hasn't been a bad president, man. You know, a lot of people are looking at some of his antics, you know, and judging him on that. But when you're just talking about policy, when you're talking about how he runs the country, it really hasn't been bad. You know, the VA runs incredible now. I like what he's done with the VA has been. I'm not hearing the complaints that I heard under Obama. You know, of course, I'd love to see him do a little bit more on housing and things like that. But you know, I could see. Come on, man, y'all really gonna shit? Look. There's nothing going on under Trump that wasn't going on under Obama. There's nothing. Yeah, some good things, some bad things. He is not. You know, there are a lot of. Let's keep it 100, guys. There are a lot of black men who are working under Trump that weren't working under Obama. there are a lot of black men who are working under Trump who your black ass did not have a job under Obama, because Trump has, for the most part, made it very expensive, if not out of the question, for a lot of these people to hire illegal immigrants. I said it. I said it. I said it. You know, these illegal immigrants were taking all y'all damn jobs, man. Let's keep it a buck now. Let's keep it a buck. You know, I remember driving through some of these neighborhoods, predominantly black neighborhoods. You just saw just a flood of illegal immigration coming into those communities. You don't see that shit no more. You don't see that shit no more. The only people you see that they're the ones that are all they got in at the nick of time. I don't see people hanging out at the Home Depot no more. You know what I mean? Jacob, no, we got to be honest. Most of the brothers are honest. They know what I'm talking about. Dudes getting jobs in a week and a half. During Obama, man, some of these guys weren't getting any work. Come on now. I'm not ashamed. That's why people say, "Are you ashamed of voting that you voted for Donald Trump?" Nope. I made a video. You can go back on my channel. I'm voting for Trump. I'm not voting for somebody who calls me a goddamn what did Clinton call people? Like I forgot that term she used. I'm not voting for somebody like that. You out of your damn mind. And now you guys want to put up Mr. Three Strikes Joe Biden. Hell no. This man hasn't made a promise to anybody. Somebody name a policy he's even running on. Come on, man. He's basically running on, super predator. I'm going to vote for somebody who called me a super predator, man. And now they want everybody to vote for somebody who says that Obama was my homeboy. Y'all know Obama? I ran with him. This is the same Joe Biden that was saying that Obama was clean, and this man is out here touching, sniffing on children, talking about how he loves kids sitting on his legs. And man, come on, man. I'm not voting for that man. Out of your damn mind, bro. He said Obama's going to jail. Obama ain't going to jail, man. Obama ain't going to jail. Obama's people don't understand how clean Obama was. Obama was too clean. Hyatt hotels. There's another one, man. 9 times earnings, a lot of properties, and they own a lot of their own properties too. That's the thing I like about Hyatt. They own a lot of their own property, a lot of different lines, different segments of the population that they attract. They're again going to take a beating over the next couple months. But again, when you're talking about companies that could be very lucrative when things clear up, some of these hotels you got to pay attention to. All right. I mean, we're moving into a forced recession, a recession that probably wasn't gonna come for another 4 to 5 years. That wasn't gonna come for another 4 to 5 years. Dow 30,000 was ahead of us. We were gonna go right through it. We were gonna go right through Dow 30,000. We got, 2 rate cuts that came way too early. This 50 cut that we just got, that probably wasn't going to show up for another year and a half. So this is an incredible blessing for those of us who don't have a lot of capital. And when I say not a lot of capital, I mean if you're not sitting on $1 million liquid, this is an incredible opportunity for you right now. This is an incredible opportunity. You're going to be able to get some of the best companies in the world for PE ratios that you could only dream for. Obama's real name was Barry Soetoro. Okay, come on, guys. All right. He's a pedo Joe. Yeah, he does have pedophile tendencies, but I think he also has dementia. Joe Biden is clearly suffering from dementia. The man is just very aloof to me. He seems to, uses a lot of old words, or maybe he's just old. I don't know. He just uses a lot of his verbiage is very old and, Apple. Let's go to Apple. Apple. Apple is one thing that I got. I wanted to put this in an iron condor, but the volatility is just ridiculous right now. The volatility is just insane. And I had, again, he's some iron condor ideas that I placed and had to give up on because just the volatility was just a nightmare. But here's Apple. And Apple's another one that, eventually he's going to lose that. I think it could come right through 240. I think this thing it's going to go right through 240 easily. I think Apple could go right through 240s. What do you recommend for someone with a small Webull account under $50? God damn, bro. You only have $50 and you're in a Webull account? I can't even get you in gold with just $50. Shit, $50? Somebody help me out here. What can he get in on $50? I mean, I can't even tell you a spread trade that you can get in with $50, man. Go get yourself some USO puts or something like that. Yeah, you'll gap down tomorrow, but you can get yourself some. Go get yourself some $8 USO puts or something like that. So I said keep it. I'm trying to help him put some money to work, man. You know what I mean? So I said keep it. Oh, man. How would I invest 10 grand? I'd probably put 2 in GLD right now for sure. And then sit on the other 8 cash and just see what happens. Seriously. I think right now, cash is a position too. Cash is a position. People underestimate that. Cash is a position too. Cash is a position too. Take another $500 of that. If you know anything about futures, I think it wouldn't hurt for you to, to probably look to do some bull put spreads here, Yeah, GE is sinking too. Yeah, GE, but GE is not very cheap right now though. Let's go get some toilet paper and flip it. Speaking of flipping toilet paper, our government shouldn't be getting involved in what's going on here with these quote unquote price gouging. There's no such thing as price gouging. That's what's keeping these products from running out, is the fact that government is involving itself in the process. See, if government would just get out of pricing, If government would just get out of the way, you would find a price. If somebody came in with something so ridiculous, people would say, oh, no, I'm not paying for that. And then the market would eventually identify a price that was fair. But since government is, keeping a price artificially low, it's actually, generating that supply deficiency. Because you got people who don't even need the product who are stacking up on it, who probably already have it, and they're saying, fuck it, I'll just buy more. So government is actually causing some of these products to run out when they shouldn't be. Somebody said bought a bottle of sanitizer for $350. God damn. That's when I know your friend is white. When you can buy a bottle of sanitizer for $350, I know you're white. How many people notice there's local stores selling out a product? Yep, local stores are selling out a product. But ironically, people aren't touching the dollar stores though, man. I cleaned out my local dollar store. I cleaned the dollar store out, boy. I went down there and I just took all the toilet paper, body wash, what little hand sanitizer they did have, bleach spray. A free market runs itself. Somebody said buy Whole food stock. Yeah, man. Look at this futures market is just, ugh, man. And Bloomberg. I mean, I'm trying to catch Bloomberg and see what they're talking about. They ain't talking about nothing. Yeah, dollar store stocks going out. Yeah, them dollar stores are gonna get hot, man. Them dollar stores are gonna get hot. Look at Dollar General. But then again, it's up there with the Costco's and the Walmarts of the world. They're going to be hot for the next couple of weeks. If anything, these are going to be the stocks you're going to want to be in. But I don't know. I just feel like I had somebody ask me where would you invest $10,000. I think you're paying a premium here for all of these plays. So if you're not already in them, I think you're cashing somebody else out. Whole Foods has stock. I thought Whole Foods was owned by Amazon. Yeah, I thought weren't they bought out by Amazon? They were trading, but mRNA. Somebody say long Dollar General. What about sin stocks? What do you mean by that, Lucretia Boland, sin stocks? What do you mean sin stocks? He said long sin stocks. What do you mean by sin stocks? I remember I was reading stock twits. I like looking at stock twits during the day, just because it's so full of bullshit. And it's you get a good laugh out of it sometimes. And some people were talking about going long some of these gun manufacturers and prison stocks and stuff like that. 14 more cases in Israel. Okay. INO. The Chinese Tesla, right? Oh, no, that's the pharma. Okay, I'm thinking something else. Innova Pharmaceuticals. Okay. Oh, god damn. Okay. Shit. Is that Friday? Yeah, yes, it was. Oh, wow. INO. Okay. Shout out to INO. Ooh. Big move. Hope we see a pullback in drip. 3 shares, bear. Oh, hell no. You're not going to see a pullback in that. You're going to see a huge gap up in drip tomorrow. God damn. Could drip really double? Shit. I forgot about some of these leveraged ETFs. God damn. Shit. Motherfucking A. Yeah, shout out to guys who took advantage of drip. They can build a temple, but nobody will show up. Uh, 3M is a sell, man. We talked about 3M earlier. Way too much China exposure. That's what's holding 3M back. They're not even really making any money on these masks. I mean, obviously they make something, but it's just not enough to be the difference. Jermaine Gilly said you've been making a killing on drip. Yeah. Yes, drip is an oil short, a 3x leveraged oil short. Be careful on that because the Saudis have ramped up supply in order to get the Russians back to the table. So they're artificially dumping the price because the Russians rejected the idea of limiting supply. So the Saudis are like, okay, you don't want to participate? All right. Let me see how you like $20 crude. Let me see how you like that. And that's going to force Russia to the table eventually. How long that takes, nobody knows. Nobody knows. But what's going to suffer is some of these, developing nations like Nigeria and some of these. I mean, they're gonna suffer big time. Because these developing countries, that oil revenue money is their blood. And everybody gets a piece. These companies, those countries run by everybody getting a piece. And when everybody can't get a piece, that's where you get a lot of instability in those kind of countries. Anything Saudi is going down tomorrow? My man with the $50. Did you decide what you're going to do? I mean, I have been thinking about how to help you, my man, but I with $50, I mean, I can't even get you in a Walmart call, or I'm thinking about where I can put you, but I don't see a trade for you, man. Let me see here. Hold on. $50? Shit. Yeah, I don't have a trade for you, man. Every call option or put option I look at, is just above where you need to be after after you do all the puts on Deutsche Bank. He said puts on Deutsche Bank. That actually might work out, but that might actually work out. He said puts on Deutsche Bank. That actually might work out. The environment definitely works in their favor. Works in the favor of a put buyer in Deutsche Bank right now. You see, the problem with that is if somebody steps in there and says, "Okay, we'll just buy you out here," right? Because I'm sure the books are actually probably very attractive, or maybe they're not. I don't know. He said he can do a SPY spread. Made a trade at $1 intervals. Okay. For $50 though? I don't know about for $50. Yes. Yes, everything is going down hard tomorrow. Yes. Everything is going down hard tomorrow. But there's going to be a floor, man. There's going to be a floor. Very rarely do we close at the lows. And again, I just don't see the White House not doing something, man. I just don't think we go into a Monday, the beginning of the week, and not have the government come out and announce something. Remember, going into the weekend, there was already tweets and ideas of Trump coming out with some kind of middle-class tax cut or some type of government. So they were already talking about the Fed expanding its ability to kind of help. So I just feel like, wherever the bottom is tomorrow, you could get some short-term relief. You could get some short-term relief. And I just feel like a small bet on that might work out. But, if you don't want to do that, let the bounce happen. And when the bounce happens, of course, we're going to wait for that 60 RSI test. You can do it on the SPY, you can do it on IYT, whatever. And wait for that 60 RSI test. And if the bounce doesn't happen, boy. CH Kid is dead, man. I don't even want to pull it up. It's so embarrassing. Let me just pull it up anyway, because it used to be a stock we used to follow. This thing is dead, man. This thing is dead. It's fundamentals there are just horrible. So Hertz took a nice dump. Yeah. I'm surprised you guys are up this late. God damn, 2 a.m. Shout out to everybody in the chat room. And this impromptu live. All right. But yeah, guys, a lot of money to be made here, man. I still think there's a lot of money to be made on the markets. Again, or maybe I'm just biased. I just want to bounce so badly, just because I know we're going much lower, and I just want to see some relief, because these puts are getting expensive now, because the volatility is just, these puts are expensive. Volatility is so high. It's made these puts really expensive right now. Don't even get me started on Tesla. Tesla, boy. I came out with a video when I talked about shorting Tesla. People got in my ass. How could you short Tesla? And look at it. We're basically right back to where we started, man. But that thing went up to almost 1,000. I was impressed. Made me wish I went long instead. Questions: what happens is when the turnaround will happen. Well, the turnaround will happen once we get a cure to the virus, man. That's when the turnaround will happen. We need a cure. But a turnaround will not happen until we get a cure, because we are a very old country, all right? And when I say old, I don't mean like infrastructure or anything. Well, that too, but we got a lot of senior citizens in this country who are vulnerable to this vaccine. This vaccine targets people who I don't want to say wealthy, but well-to-do. It targets people who are economically mobile. They move around. They shop in different places. They fly places. It goes after people who, have money, who can do the things that money allows them to do. It doesn't attack people who are very stationary, who are, who are not economically mobile. It just kind of attacks people who can make moves. This is the first thing they've ever seen where, like, goddamn, it's like a rich man's disease. Yeah. Somebody said boomer flu. That's a great term. Boomer flu. They're the wealthiest. They're the wealthiest group in this country, and they're going to get it. These people are flying from, Vegas to Miami to New York. They're out here, got 2 different homes. They're friends who are doctors, lawyers, and, it targets people who can move like that, And now they've got to settle down and, lack of a better term, live like niggas. Let's keep it 100. Let's keep it $1. They got to live like niggas now. You ain't going to fly nowhere. You're not going on vacation nowhere. You're gonna, you just sit there. You know what I mean? You got to be a nigga now. Oh man, I'm well 2 hours in now, man. I don't want to, I got people in here who've been in here from, minute one. Said Las Vegas will go dark. Yeah, Las Vegas will go dark. Absolutely. We're already seeing MGM and Wynn paying the price. Obviously they've got a lot of exposure to China. That's just also hurting them too. But Vegas is going to come down too. I tell you, man, you got to be a nigga now. Futures is dead, man. Siobhan, the Futures is dead. But yeah, man, I mean, we're just going through all the losses, man. And we're just talking about, again, buying and finding opportunities to take advantage of stocks that are trading at ultra low PEs. Look at that. American Airlines at 4. I'm still tripping on that. American Airlines at 4 times earnings. 4 times PE. And this will gap down tomorrow. You probably get this in single digits, 8. If you start dollar cost averaging into American Airlines at 8, man, I in 24 months you gotta be up 100% in 2 years. In 2 years, you're going to be up 100% or more. If you get American Airlines at $8 right now. But I know most of you guys in here, you just don't have that kind of time frame. You're just like, yeah, you need this, you need this money now. But, I'm 32 years old now, and I'm more than happy to wait 2 years if it means I'm going to double my money. He said airlines have been bankrupt, dividends. Why do people think airlines are bankrupt? They're not bankrupt, man. These airlines make money. Now they're not flush with cash like a Google. Let's be honest, but they're not bankrupt companies. Yeah, they're not bankrupt companies. Now I don't like the unions. I'm not a big fan of unions. But I understand why unions exist, because people don't do right by employees in this country. So unions have to exist. I'm not a big fan of them. But the reason why unions have to exist because government doesn't do their job. Unions wouldn't exist if we didn't have corporate welfare, but that's a different topic. Airlines will make more profit if oil stay cheap. Well, I don't know if it makes more profit as much as it lowers their losses, because remember, people are cutting flights right now. Corporations that have these credit cards and lines of business with these airlines to let their employees fly all around the country and just be kind of charged at the end of the month, that's not happening. So cheap oil, all that does is limit the extent of the damage. But these companies, these airlines are not going to find any profit over the next several months. Shout out to you, Clay Furious, TW Local 100. COVID-19 could be China's plan to take over the world, or God's plan to punish a sinful world. Yeah, I like the latter. God's plan to punish a sinful world. I think just, it comes at a time where we're at all-time highs, where income inequality is wider than it's ever been in this country. It just seems like God's timing. It really does. And what's happened just over the last week and a half? Income inequality has taken a hit. A lot of rich people have lost a whole lot of money. Whole lot of money. Now, what we've got to do as American citizens is make sure we don't allow the government to change the rules and all of a sudden turn the Federal Reserve into a stockbroker. We got to fight against that. Because if you think this bubble is bad, when the Federal Reserve gets to buy Apple and Walmart stock just like you do, I can't, you don't even want to know how high some of these prices are going to get. I mean, these guys were going to become they'll become trillionaires if the Federal Reserve is allowed to buy stock like you can buy Tesla through your Robinhood account. We should fight tooth and nail against that. That's a huge violation of public trust and the responsibility of government. Oh, that's a horrible bailout, man. That's not even fair. It's not even fair to your average American citizen because most people don't own stocks. You know what I mean? We mostly trade options, but I mean we do stock too. I mean if we can't get the options, if they're illiquid, whatever it is you trade, we got something here for you. Where's the dollar at right now? I know the dollar was, we're shitting on. Okay, the dollar's getting shitting on right now. So I saw the dollar falling against some of those exotics. But at the end of the day, the dollar is better than any other currency out there, man. Maybe second to the pound, and some people say it's not as good as the yen either, but I don't know. But I'll tell you one thing right now. I'll take $1 over the Burundi, whatever the hell they got over there. I dabble in it. I was big into U.S. dollar, South Africa rand, because that was literally a trade that was going one way, and will continue to go one way. South Africa is becoming a third world country. I think there's a whole lot of money to be made betting that the dollar is going to crush the rand over the next 5 to 10 years. I think the rand could go, I think it's at like 14, 15 now. I think that could go to 30. That can double over the next 36 months. That country is going to be a third world country. What do you think about Target? Yeah, that's another stock that's, again, it's going to be, it's going to be a winner, man. It's going to be a winner over the short term. My problem with Target is I know they just don't have the pricing power like a Walmart or a Costco. And I think it's showing up in the stock. But, again, the whole coronavirus, we're stocking up now narrative is going to be good for the next couple days and weeks. But the problem with those narratives is that they can change very quickly, where people are just like, okay, I mean, that's up and done. And then they just kind of correct themselves. So enjoy it while it lasts. Enjoy it while it lasts. A smart trader would look at Walmart or a Target, and they probably go out and just go ahead and sell some calls here and let it go against them for the next couple of days or a week. But I think if you're a call seller in any of these retail giants, I think a month from now you're a winner. I don't think they're higher than where they are now a month from now or 2 months from now. I don't see it. Now, particularly, again, if we don't have any breakthroughs. Better be silver and gold. Yep, got a lot of family exposed to gold right now. God don't like mankind to start playing with his plan. Well, I mean, look, let me not go into that. I'm hearing tickets are mad. Yeah, a lot of flights are real cheap right now. I saw a New York I saw a New York to Rome for $215. A lot of flights are real cheap right now. Round trip. That went fast though. If you go out like 6 weeks, if you go out 6 weeks on Google Flights, some of those flights are like, what? No way. Particularly if you stick with the major airports and the popular routes. It's like, what? You can't be serious. He said this market is toothpaste. Hilarious. What do I think about UA? Under Armour is a horrible company, man. Under Armour is just trash, man. Under Armour is just trash. They overextended themselves. They got themselves into way too many lines of business. You know, they should have just stuck with college teams and stuck to what they knew best. But get yourself some Nike, man. Go get yourself some Nike. You know, get yourself some Nike puts tomorrow. You're probably going to open up at 80, 81, 82 tomorrow on Nike. You know, you got earnings on the 27th. Earnings are going to be horrible. Not necessarily what they just did, but guidance moving forward. If they're going to be honest about it, they're going to be very, very bad. And you're going to see Nike probably get down to the 70s. You're probably going to see Nike down to the 70s. You know. But yeah, Nike's going to be bad, man. It's going to be tough for Nike. Not just what they've lost in China in terms of that exposure to China. 17% of their revenues in China. But now with these, with the possibility of the Olympics being canceled, the school closings, and you're just not going to have parents spend getting new kicks. You're not going to have regular young people out here spending and getting new kicks. People getting new kicks. It's not going to happen. Someone said if it's not protection, it's trash. But where do you go for protection right now? A lot of salespeople, I've heard people say the utilities. The yields on that will be nice. The utilities are probably going to be a nice place to hide. You know what I mean? The cash-rich utilities. Let's go one off the top of my head, DTE. God damn, they took a recent huge hit there. Why is DTE trading like a goddamn... Somebody give me another utility stock. Because this is not fitting my narrative of how I think they would act. Somebody give me another utility play. Let me buy toilet paper. Everybody's going to have to take a shit. Why do you think earnings for Nike will be bad? Well, because they're not going to make their numbers. If you read Nike's earnings report, I want to say for November or earnings call, they don't. I think it was either December or January. But they don't announce. There was nothing said about coronavirus. But what was said was that a lot of the expectations for sales in China, and I think they missed on those. And I want to say they missed on those. And again, like many companies do, provide guidance for the future earnings. I think they will guide significantly lower. Says stop with the racial stereotypes. If someone was saying, okay, but they'd be beyond. I'm completely. This is a different kind of show, man. I don't know. Maybe this is your first time watching me, but I'm gonna say it how it is. It's not. These are not racial stereotypes. This is 100% Fact, okay? 100% facts here. That's why I said, if I say something, just prove that it's not true. Prove that it's not true. Prove that coronavirus isn't what somebody said, boomer flu. It's a boomer flu. And in order for you to not get this boomer flu, you got to live like a nigga. You got to live like a black American. You got to live like somebody who doesn't have access to fly anywhere in the country like they want to, who doesn't have 2 or 3 homes they can bounce around, who doesn't, who is not economically mobile. I'm keeping it honest. You better keep it honest around here, man. We're dealing with money here. It's not time to be politically correct around here. We're dealing with people's money. Okay? So what do you think about the big 3? GM, Ford, Chrysler, and all them. Yeah, man. I've always hated the way these companies trade, so I couldn't give you good guidance on that. I've always hated the way GM and Ford trade. All of them. Horrible tickers, union issues, supply issues. I mean, just horrible stocks. I think those are 2 companies that have, pension issues as well. They got their own little issues there with that pension. Get Fidelity fractional shares. No, fractional shares is what's the problem. See, fractional shares, when companies come out with fractional shares, that shows you we're at the top. That's the problem. When the average American has to buy fractional shares, that's the very problem with our country. When you can't afford a share of a stock, and instead you've got to go buy a 0.1%, that's a problem, man. So Ford is running on fumes. Yeah, man, all of those big 3 companies are a joke, man. They've been getting their asses handed to them by Toyota and Honda for years. People don't even want to fuck with the American-built cars. I know American citizens who will look you in the eye and say, I don't buy American-made cars. All I buy is Honda and Toyota. And most of those are, some models are built here in America. But in terms of the brand, like, hey, man, all I do is Honda. Like, wow. It's their biggest wealth transfer imminent. Well, it's not even a wealth transfer. It's a wealth dissipation. Well, I forgot. I know I'm not saying the word right. It's a wealth vanishing. It's not real wealth. It's not a wealth transfer. It's not real wealth. It's just paper money. It's just numbers in the screen. This was not real wealth at all. This is artificially inflated valuations. And once this occurs, we're eventually going to see it move into real estate. We got a lot of people who bought a lot of expensive properties. Particularly if you live in one of these cities that has, like, on the outskirts, these like cheap homes where you can punch through the wall that's go for like $250K. I mean, that's not, those houses aren't worth that much. You got to drive 30 minutes just to get to work. And, that has to come down, man. That has to come down. And how that comes down is, again, this coronavirus has started the process. Companies are going to lose millions, billions of dollars in revenue. In that, they will start to lay off workers. Those workers, many of them who are leveraged to the tilt in credit card debt, student loans, new mortgages, will then default on those loans. The default will then turn into foreclosures rising and heavy markdowns by the financial institutions for these properties. And this, again, will become the best thing that ever happened to the cash-ready millennial or poor person or whatever it is, it's going to be heaven sent when we come through the other side of this, because you're going to see all kind of government programs to help you buy a home. You're going to get all kind of government subsidies to start a business. I mean, it's just going to be a free-for-all on the other side of this in terms of helping the everyday American get on their feet and become more, economically viable, because it's going to require that. It's going to require that. Javier Mosby, what's going on, bro? This is the beginning of the recession? Absolutely. Absolutely. This is a forced recession. This is what we're going to be seeing as a forced recession. Again, barring in mind that we get some kind of breakthrough in the virus. But yes, this will be a forced recession. And again, we're already acting like this isn't going to be a big deal. I'm still seeing motherfuckers going to basketball games. I'm still seeing people going to concerts. People going to, people are still trying to pretend like it's not out here. It's out here. It's already spreading. People just aren't getting tested, so they don't even know. We got people going to work right now, coughing on you and shit. A lot of older people. Watch some of the older people at your jobs. You know what I mean? What if the market hasn't reacted to Corona yet? No, it already is reacting, because the reason why the market is reacting like this is because, okay, if we're at all-time highs and this is a disease that's projected to affect and possibly kill, maybe 1 million people, maybe 100,000 people, what does that leave in terms of the valuation of the equities I hold? Again, if you read Benjamin Graham or you read George Soros, they talk about how increasing volatility requires, right? Increasing volatility requires a reduction in exposure. All right. So when volatility rises, you have to reduce your risk. So what you're seeing is the wealthy, money managers, just smart investors doing what they are supposed to do, which is reduce their exposure to increasing volatility. So this is going exactly how it's supposed to go. Said 30 to 50 million Americans might die. I don't know. No, come on, man. Not 30 or 50 million Americans are going to die from this, but no, I can see, a couple thousand or something like that, 10,000, something like that. But no, come on, man. 30 to 50 million. That's come on. No, that's not going to happen, man. That's not going to happen. 30 million people died in America. That, you would see anarchy. Seriously. You'd see anarchy. That's not even Black Death. That's worse than Black. That's 100x Black Death. Because he's saying 30 to 50 million in America. Black Death was 30 million globally. Stock market might as well reset at a dollar. Well, look, they're already talking about digital dollars. Y'all can Google the Fed talking about creating its own crypto. So, look, we might come out of this where they be like, man, we're just going to start over, okay? We're just going to start over. We'll give you like 1 for 1 or something like that. I doubt it, though. I doubt it. That's not going to happen. The U.S., people love dollars. People all over the world love their dollars. Said black people can't get coronavirus. Yeah, I got to say you're right, bro. There's not a single case of coronavirus with a black person. There was a student from Cameroon in China. His brother was in the hospital for 2 days and they sent his ass home. He healed up so quickly. There has yet to be a single black person with coronavirus. And the reason, because if there was, they would have let your ass know about it. If coronavirus was a black folks disease, they will have your black ass on the screen every 5 minutes. What's your name? Where you come from? How did you get this thing? But because most of the victims are not black, we don't know who we're not allowed to know who these people are. These people are just quarantined in their house. We don't know who they are. We don't know because they're not black. Again, let's just keep it 100. Keep it 100. You know what I'm saying? So 500 million in China. Come on, man. No, I think China's probably already lost 1 million people. We don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if China's already lost 1 million people. That's not even a dent to them. You know what I mean? That's not even a dent to them. Again, Wuhan has 11 million people. Wuhan, bigger than New York and Dallas. So they put the Jewish lawyer on the front page. Oh, okay, I didn't see that. But I would tell you right now, though, if coronavirus was a black folks the type of disease, or a bunch of Africans got it, they'd be all over the. Because when motherfuckers had Ebola, it was all over the TV. It's that funny they haven't interviewed one American with one person. Yeah, right. Not one American who with coronavirus has been interviewed. It's like they don't want to let you know these people exist, and they do exist. They're out here. But the problem with, again, coronavirus victims are upper class people. They're people who travel, people who go places, people who wine and dine, and I mean, this is boomer flu, like somebody said, man. This is a rich man's virus. You a mover and shaker if you get the coronavirus. You know what I mean? You around people who got some money. You know, particularly as an American, if you get it. Because that means you're exposed to people who travel. You know? Somebody said, who's going to risk an interview? Man, come on. Are you serious? What these people will go to Iraq, Iran, and interview motherfucking Al Qaeda. You telling me they won't sit inside a hospital in New York and interview somebody? Come on, man. Some people dying for an interview. These people went into caves to interview the Taliban. And you telling me they won't go talk to somebody who's dying from a virus? Come on now. Yeah, they can do Skype and all that. These people out here talking to terrorists, chopping people's heads off. ISIS. Come on, man. Running up into Libya to interview people who are selling slaves when they could be sold themselves. Come on, man. Absolutely anything for views. And the biggest view right now you can get is probably interviewing somebody with coronavirus. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sitting here inside of a hospital, and this gentleman is suffering from coronavirus. He's coughing blood. He could die at any moment. I am live right now. Y'all know how it is with these motherfuckers, man. Come on. Yeah. Say you got your whole family pumped up with ginger. Yeah, that's what black folks say. Just give me some ginger ale. We good. A senator, a congressman is in quarantine. Who? Who's in quarantine? This is Dre. I didn't see that. Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz has corona? Hold on, man. Let me see, man, because y'all know niggas lie a lot sometimes too. So let me check that shit. Let me see. Ted Cruz has coronavirus? No, yeah, I don't see him trending though. I thought I did see him trending earlier. Ted Cruz. Oh shit. Ted Cruz, okay. P1. Ted Cruz will undergo a self-quarantine after coming into contact with coronavirus patient. Hold on, is that I'm not seeing any verified sources, but I'm seeing the blue checks talking about it. Oh, okay, hold on. He released a statement. Oh, wow. Okay, last night I was informed that 10 days ago at CPAC I briefly interacted with the individual who is currently symptomatic and it tested positive of COVID-19. That interaction consisted of a brief conversation and a handshake. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. This is a game changer. Man, somebody was talking about this as a God's punishment. And, you know, if there's one guy in Congress who's been very wicked, it's Ted Cruz, man. Ted Cruz has been a wicked motherfucker, man. Ted Cruz has been a traitor to his people. You know what I'm saying? He's been a real traitor, man. I don't know what the word Uncle Tom is for Hispanics, but Ted Cruz has been a big old Uncle Tom, bro. For real. I don't even support illegal immigration like that, but, you know, coon is a coon. Lennox John, I appreciate you, bro. Yeah. Well, the market was going to all-time highs. I mean, I didn't know what to come on the show and say. I mean, when the market is just going up and up and up and up, and it's just like, God damn. So now we got something to talk about. Yeah, he said buy a 12-pack, you good. CNBC, well, they're not. Well, look, some people say they're spreading the fear, but I think they're keeping it 100 with people, man. You know, anybody who's saying that they're spreading fear is a lot of people are long. And I'm not saying that you, Matt, are long, but a lot of people who are mad at this coronavirus and are mad at the media, they're people who have a lot of money in their 401k or they've got a lot of wealth positioned in the market. So they're like, oh, you know, they're putting that anger on the media because they're really just mad because their stocks are going down. You know, and that's kind of selfish in itself because you got some people who are really out here dying, man. You know, but as we talked about Netflix, the futures are still, I think the futures are still closed, right? Let me see. God damn, still closed. Look at that. Still nothing on the futures, man. Again, the level I'm looking at tomorrow is 2766 to hold. I like to see that 2766 level hold. If 2766 doesn't hold, then we're down here to 2613. Man, I doubt we go through 2613 tomorrow, but you know, but if 2613, if 20, man, this. I just can't even believe we're at these levels right now. Well, I can believe it, but damn, that was fast. That was fast. But as short bias traders, we know it's faster to come down than it is to go up. CNBC has people telling, oh, hell yeah, man. Thank you for bringing that up. This is Dre. The whole week they were telling motherfuckers to dip buy. CNBC, Jim Cramer, all those people that sit on that desk all day. Well, look, guys, I don't know about you, but look, I feel like we got some really good deals here. I'm going to be exposing myself to a little bit here. I'm grabbing some of these right here. I think, we get past this and we're going back to all-time highs sooner rather than later. I still have 3,400 for the year. Is where we're going to be for the rest of the year. Like these people didn't get it. These people didn't get it. And a couple of years ago, I used to think these people were so smart. I'm like, oh my God, they're talking about stocks, and it just, these people are so smart and they're just so intelligent and they're talking about money. And now that I know the lingo, I'm like, these motherfuckers are just guessing, man. They're just guessing. Anybody can do that. But they put the words together so smoothly and it's just so, it just exudes so much confidence, Said Nikkei down 5%. God damn. Then is it really down 5%? Oh, man. Ebola 24, Zika 2016. I remember that Zika shit. That was crazy, man. When them babies had the swollen heads and stuff. I don't know. Most of the Zika babies are already dead, but that was weird seeing them kids with like the blown up heads and stuff. So get yourself some toilet paper and an N95 mask. I actually got a dust mask. I went and got a hardcore dust mask. I mean, it's covers my face, everything. It looks like I'm, one of them soldiers from Resident Evil and shit. I got the whole face, man. I got the whole facial, bro. I'm not playing with this mask thing, man. I'm going to survive this thing. Fuck what you heard, man. Even though it don't affect black folks, for the most part, I still got to be ready. You got motherfuckers out here who might want to try to get up on this purge bullshit. So I'm ready for you too. Yeah, I stocked up on that. Never believe the hype. Watch how things play up. Yeah, absolutely, Legendary 8s. Yeah, man. I'm considering all options, bro. You gonna have these motherfuckers out here be on that purge bullshit for real. I'm ready for them motherfuckers too. Yeah. Have I looked into COVID-19 heat map? I didn't know there was a heat map. They're gonna start kidnapping to find out why it don't affect black folks. Well, it's not. I don't even think they're gonna kidnap. I think people are just gonna be mad. Like, why aren't you people getting sick? You know what I mean? Could be on that shit too. But a lot of these young white folks too. They don't really like their boomer. Not all of them, but a lot of them, they don't like boomers either. So a lot of them are low-key kind of happy. Let me say this again. You got a lot of white folks out here that are low-key kind of happy this is going on right now. Especially the environmentalist type. Oh, they're like, well, I actually don't think it's not that bad. I mean, it's good for the environment if a couple million people were to die. Read that shit on... You can see that on Twitter, man. You go back and forth with these people on Twitter. It's actually not a bad thing if a couple million people were to die right now. Like, did he just say that? Did he just say that? Oh, yeah. There was a video. There was a picture going around like a week ago that was showing how the earth in China had like healed itself because all the methane or some gas it was gone. And people were like, yes, look at it. We can do something about pollution. Like, this is great. They want to see this thing spread, man. Hey, look, I've seen the Georgia Guidestones. You know what I mean? Now, that's probably a little far flung, because I think that thing says like 500 million people or something like that. But a lot of these environmentalists, notice a lot of these environmentalists aren't saying nothing right now. There's nobody in the environmentalist camp that's saying nothing. These people like this shit. They love that shit. Yeah, you seen the movie Get Out? Oh, of course. I got it on my computer, man. The best product to find a cure is what makes it for a certain organism. Hell yeah, they're going to be on some Get Out. Greta Thunberg. Yeah, Greta ain't saying nothing about it right now. Greta ain't saying nothing about it. Everybody say she's 15 years old. Greta looks like she goddamn 65. She looks like she goddamn 65 years old in the face. You're liars. All of your lies. Everything that you say is not true. We can do something about this. You and your lies. Oh shit, man. Oh man, that speech is funny, man. Y'all gotta go back and watch that. How dare you? Y'all gotta go watch that shit, man. That's a funny ass speech. That's a funny ass speech right there, man. That's a funny. You got some people who made some remixes like in the song and stuff. That's a funny ass speech. Cause I'm like, I know she practiced that at least 100 times to get that right. She nailed it though. She nailed it. Said Greta came from Total Recall. It was a homeboy's stomach. Yeah, Greta Thunberg is a time cop. That's what she is. She from the fucking future. She's a fucking time cop, man. Yeah, she was serious. It was very serious. If everyone dies but me, it'll be a world champion and everything. Hilarious. Clone me some hookers. Yeah, man. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen now, man. I think all that goes on the back burner. All that genetically modified this and that. All that's on the back burner right now. Gene editing, all that shit. It's all on the back burner right now. That's what's one thing I do like about this possible recession coming, because a lot of these organizations that are, getting money to do all kind of weird ass shit, during recessions, they don't get no money, because a lot of these organizations are funded by wealthy people who have very sick ideas about a lot of things. For example, a lot of these people who are pushing the pedo movement, low-key, behind Zaya and Dwayne Wade. That's a lot of pedo going behind. That's a lot of that pedo movement. So, during a recession, a lot of that goes away. Because they don't get no money. So it's the recession is a cleaning, it's a clarifying of strategy, of what's really important. So what about Bill Gates? What about Bill Gates? He's losing money right now too. Have you seen the stock of Microsoft? That nigga losing money too. Yeah, it's holding up, but he trust me, he gonna be losing some bread too. Said Dwayne Wade so about. Dwayne Wade has had his booty poked, and he's probably allowed his son to have his booty poked as well. So, Dwayne Wade is living vicariously through his son. He's living vicariously through his son. The wife, she's just Hollyweird. She grew up in Hollyweird, and she's just down with it. But D Wade has been poked, and his son has been poked as well. That's the thing. When you let motherfuckers play up in your booty, you're just gonna start acting crazy. You know what I mean? That's why a lot of dudes, the down low really doesn't exist anymore. But the thing about down low dudes is like, again, it's a spirit, bro. It's a spirit. When you allow somebody to play with your booty, it affects the way you talk. It affects the way you walk. That's why these guys can't hide that shit, because you're allowing that spirit to come into your body, when you allow your booty to be played with. Yeah, he's definitely been poked, man. He's definitely been poked. I said D Wade lives stuff life. He doesn't understand what he's getting him into. It could be. It could be. It could be Dwayne Wade just, because sometimes when you get these brothers who are in this environment for so long, and they haven't really been around a lot of normal black people, sometimes they can allow themselves to fall into new and weird ass shit. You know what I'm saying? You take a brother who's, from the neighborhood, don't really know nothing, and you put him in, in these environments where they just start to act crazy. That's why you see a lot of these dudes who end up going to some of these schools. Like, for example, a lot of those brothers, they were getting out of the hood to go to Baylor. And all of a sudden they was just out there nailing a bunch of white women. Just crazy. They just went crazy on all those white women at Baylor. From the hood, and next thing you know, you in this private university, some of the most expensive dorms in the country, and you just going in on a whole bunch of different white girls, and you just think that the whole world is yours until those brothers got caught up. You know what I mean? Yeah, these dudes to that world, man, and they away from their family, away from close friends. Now you're hanging around with people from Hollywood. Look at this this quarterback from the Seahawks. You know what I'm saying? You're going to start seeing him act funny in a couple years. Watch. He's already kind of making that left turn a little bit. I'm already seeing him, start talking about, we all need to love each other. And, I'm seeing his Twitter looking a little funny lately. You know what I mean? Yeah, Sierra going to turn him too. Watch out for that brother, man. But look, when you're dealing with these reptilians, when you're dealing with these people from the planet DC-15, or I forgot what the code for that planet is. These people are weird, man. These little reptilians out here. I read this book about the reptilians. At first I was like, man, this is some bullshit. Let me see what this motherfucker is talking about. But I started reading. I was like, you might have a point here. You might have a little point here. He said the Sierra curse. Well, I mean, he did pretty good last year. He put up some decent numbers last year, but he ain't winning no more like he used to, though. But, my thing is, I don't know how you can ever think some bony ass woman like Sierra, you got all that money and you messing around with flat ass Sierra, no titty Sierra, really? God damn, nigga, all that money. That's why I say, I give you niggas money, man. Just give it to me. I'll go out and get the biggest country, big titty, fat ass. You'll be like, okay, this nigga's ignorant. You went and got out Sierra. I see a lot of people are lost. Absolutely. Yeah, a lot of people are lost in this world, man. That's why I've been saying, they choose these guys for a reason. They choose these guys for a reason. Because I'll be looking at some of these players and I'm like, I know he's good. I know he's talented. But why? Is it really skill, or is it like, is the game rigged so that one player just does better than the other when they start talking that I love all people and all that kind of crap? Say Jay-Z and Beyonce down. I don't know. I feel like Jay-Z and Beyonce, they broken away, and that's why they're not getting as much. I don't know. I feel like they used to be in the news a lot more. Is it just me, or I feel like they not in the light like they used to be? I feel like they've turned their back on Hollywood. So why is gold down 1.5? Because people are selling it to cover. When markets go down, everything gets sold. But again, it's going to be momentary. All right. You're going to also see you're going to see some margin calls. So gold could very well pull back 2 to 3% when these guys get hit with those margin calls. All right. I want you to do research on it. And they're SBLs. They're called securities-based loans or securities-based lending. A lot of folks with money do these security-based loans. And what happens is when these stocks that they've taken loans on, right? They're millionaires, self-made, or, daddy's money. They've got, 10 million shares of X, and they go out and loan $10 million on those shares, right? The shares are worth $25 million, right? Well, if the shares lose value, the loan comes due, right? The shares loses a certain amount of value, the loans come due instantaneously. So those shares have to be immediately liquidated. It's the same thing for gold sometimes. They've got to liquidate that position. Absolutely, margin calls, but look into that. It's called securities-based lending. It's typically for people who have over $100,000 or more of security in a particular stock, and you can lend money on it. Man, this whole game is rigged, man. This whole game is rigged. People out here taking capital on capital. Capital on capital on capital. It's called securities-based lending. A lot of rich folks do that. And have been doing it for a long time. We should be taking a wartime reaction. Now, that's exactly what they want you to do, because when you take that kind of stance, and they take your rights away from you. There are a lot of rights in the Constitution people want to take away. So you gotta be careful with that. So all the high flyers will get sold as well and become source of those funds. Absolutely. But you got to understand that the boomers that are taking the hit right now, many of them are entering their retirement years, if not already at 70. Their oldest of the baby boomers are already at 70. So they don't have the time to make up the money that they're losing, right? So they're cashing out. Please understand that a significant portion of the people who are selling like crazy are boomers. They are boomers who understand that they don't have another 20 years to make this shit up, to make it back. Look out for a number of homes to start flooding the market again. All right, when these companies start laying off people, we're going to make sure you want to focus on the job numbers that are going to be coming out here soon. Said they got all the money, got everyone knew they're already smashed. Hilarious. But yeah, guys, I've been on almost 3 hours. Let me let y'all go now. And again, I'm going to figure out what's going on with my internet, and we can come back off, and I can kind of follow up on where we end up here, because there's a bounce coming. There's going to be a nice bounce. The government's going to announce something, and it'll bounce almost to a point where people start thinking if it's over. And that's when it's going to be the right time for you to go in short again, because that's not going to be the time. Because a financial solution is not going to be the solution that we need. It's not going to be a financial solution to this. We need a cure. Only a cure can solve this pain. We're going to go another emergency rate cut on the 18th, I believe. In 10 days, you're going to see another emergency rate cut to another 75. You're going to do 75 basis points. So we're going to be literally at 0.25. We're going to do another cut. We're going to 0%. We're going to 0% because they can't, ladies and gentlemen, understand this. They can't go higher. They've taken up so much debt. They can't go up. All they can do is go down. They're trapped. They've lost control. they've lost complete control of this thing. So stay long gold. Continue to build up your cash. Look, fuck McDonald's and all this. Like, you're watching an opportunity of a lifetime here. You know, put that small money aside and wait for some great opportunities and some companies that, you know, that are gonna be here once it's all done, and you're gonna dream about getting it for some of these prices. Let me see where Cat is trading at here. Where's Cat at? You know, look at Caterpillar at 11 times earnings. It's going to go a lot lower. But if you could get Caterpillar, you know, you get Caterpillar at sub 100. You know, a Caterpillar at 6 or 5 times earnings. You know, look, I mean, buildings still have to be built. Infrastructure is going to be the way out of this thing. A massive infrastructure project or a massive infrastructure spending, that's what's going to take to get out of there. And that's where you're going to want to be in plays like this. You're going to want to be in plays like this. This thing is like, you can see here, I've already been looking at it. But once this breaks past 111 and it finds a floor somewhere, you know, you're going to want to be here somewhere in this thing. You know. But again, I'm short Nike right now. I'm long gold. And for the most part, other than that, I'm really into a lot of cash. I'm into a lot of cash because I'm looking for a position. Probably going to get short W again. But again, I'd like to see a bounce here. Because it's so hard. Again, I don't like buying puts, you know, sub 30 RSI. I've done that before. It's a very frustrating experience. Buying puts or selling calls when, you know, the trade is literally set up for you to lose. You know, if you pull up the Bollinger Bands, again, how Bollinger Bands work is that once the band is broken, the probability is to your favor to buy a call here because, you know, it could continue to sell off, but there's a higher probability of it going back inside the bands. So, you know, that back inside the band move. Let me see here. Yeah, that back inside the band move, I see it's already happened on the SPY. Right? It happened already on the SPY. And now we're going to open up really below. We're going to open up somewhere around. We're going to open up, somewhere 272, 271, I think. Hold on. What's the future say? I think that was kind of 28.14 or 28.19, I think we left it at. So that means we're at 280 or 282. All right, so we're going to open up around 280, 282 tomorrow. So, you know, what happens then? Do buyers come flooding in, or do we see continued selling and continue to go lower? But there'll be a floor somewhere down there. And I want to open up a small long position. Just to see what happens. Because again, I just don't think Trump is going to just let it slide. I just don't think he has a normal day tomorrow. I'm not surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if Donald Trump is up right now with the plunge protection team talking about what to do, coming up with policies, something that they think they can do to alleviate the market stress. I don't think they'll save it. I just think that it'll create a bounce. This is not going to be saved. No, this is not going to be saved. We don't have a cure. What I'm saying is, for most of us in here who are short-term traders or traders who see a longer downside coming and are looking to get in at a better price for the downside move, there's going to be something announced soon that's going to give you that opportunity. That's going to give you that opportunity to be able to get in on some of these growth stocks that have still a long way down to go. Some of these unicorns that are fat and overweight, you know, some of these consumer staples that just aren't going to be built, that aren't going to, survive, because these are companies that still have to, people have to go out and do them. And, I think, what was that, like Live Nation? What was Live Nation trading at? The concert company? Live Nation Entertainment. Here's the concert company, Live Nation. Here's the monthly chart. Still a whole, still a lot of meat on that bone. Still a lot of meat on that bone. Live Nation is going much, much lower. This is a stock I want to get short tomorrow. But I already know that, again, it's going to gap down. It's going to be oversold. And I don't want to be short there. Appreciate you, Paper Chaser. But I'm out of here now. I appreciate all you guys who worked it with me through my little internet issues. It looks like things cleared up now, but we'll see how things hang out. I'm going to definitely replace this modem as soon as I can here. What's my short position on Nike? I've been short the 110, 105s. I moved closer to 97.50. I think it was like 97.50, 100. But now, let me go back here. Yep, I'm short the 94.50s. I'm selling the 94.50 calls in Nike. I'm selling 94.50 against 95.50 for March 20th. And then I'm out April 14th, where I'm selling, brief moment here, where I'm selling also 95 against 100 for April 17th Nike. And I still can't believe that on Friday those were still the 95 calls on Nike were still at $2.50. That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous how how they still had over $2.50 on them. If there's one company that's going to take it up the ass over the next 6 months, it's Nike, just common sense trading. Because common sense trading, there's been guys who've been making a killing on the airlines, guys who've been making a killing on the financials, right? With every interest rate increase, every interest rate decrease, whether it be XLF, oh, that's XLG, XLF, right? XLF, still a ways to go, man. There's still a lot of downside move here, still left. Here's the 2009 lows. Like this is $5. Understand, this is $4 to $5. All right, let's go to JP Morgan. These companies don't make no money at the 0%. Here's JP Morgan 2009. Where are we at? $18. All right. Now, obviously, these companies have balances and can have risk on side that are much larger than they had in 2008, 2009. These companies have a lot of exposure. Goldman Sachs. A lot of exposure to business risk. All right. Some of the community banks. I don't think SunTrust still trade. I think they got bought. Oh, STI? Yeah. I know they got bought out. Yeah, they got bought out on stateside. I don't think, they don't have their ticker for states anymore. I think KLE is the KL. I forgot what the ETF for small banks, regional banks. I thought it was KL something. KLF? No, I can't remember. Yeah, I can't remember what the name was for them. But yeah, man, this is just a lot of risk out there. It's a lot of opportunities. A lot of opportunities, guys. Just make common sense trades. If you're suffering from a virus that affects you over 14, shows up within 14 days, right? The symptoms show up. Kids don't go to school. Parents who are infected or businesses that are infected, they stay home. What will they not do? Clearly, they don't go to concerts, right? They don't go buy new clothes. That's why you're seeing the clothing lines getting killed, like Ralph Lauren and Gap and all of this stuff. You're going to start seeing them go down, right? Those are going to take hits, right? Ralph Lauren. Yeah, that was down 2%. This is another one that I think could go down a little bit further. Yeah, but they already looks like they're already 12 times earnings. Let me see. I think there was another. Which one was the one that was really taking a hit? TVH, IVH, or something like that. I'm gonna put up a list. Put up a list of really good coronavirus stocks that I know are gonna be taking a hit. Yeah, Estee Lauder. That one's really hanging because this one, the volume just isn't there, and it trades so weird. It trades so weird, man. Estee Lauder. KRE. Okay, thank you. KRE is the regionals. Yeah, there we go. Woo, boy, look at that. A lot of exposure to IWM, RUT, that Russell 2000 kind of category. A lot of exposure to the common everyday American. You know, KRE here. KRE is another one that's got a whole lot more downside to come. But again, man, buying so hard to buy puts here, man. 26 RSI already. Oh, this is the weekly. Where's the daily at? 23 on the daily. See, it's just very frustrating. Very frustrating to buy at these levels. Because it's going to bounce on you. And I hate seeing red in my account. Especially when it's on some shit that I don't need to. I didn't need to be in right away. Yeah, but KRE is going to be a nice play for exposure to the downside move. Those banks are going to get hit hard. Those are the banks that are going to be crying out for a bailout. You know, PVH. Thank you. That was the. Yeah, there you go. PVH. This is the company which got a shitload of brands in it, clothing lines and all that stuff. I would love the volume to be a lot better, but it is what it is. These companies unfortunately don't have the most liquid options either, so sometimes you just gotta short the stock, or just look for better opportunities in something else. Absolutely. Common sense trades, good risk. Spread your risk out, man. Spread, get short a little growth, short a little, short into some strength in terms of, go out a little bit on some Costco, even though it's going a little high right now. I think if anything, it's really giving you an opportunity to grab some, with people in some denial up there. You can do that a little bit. So spread your money around a little bit. You don't, in a situation like this, you don't have to be all in one place. Get yourself some exposure to some GLD. You know what I mean? Maybe even look at some of these leveraged bear ETFs. You know what I mean? And what they call direction? What's called semiconductor? Which one was? I think SOX. This one's up 6% on Friday. Semiconductor play. All right. Small little exposure and something like that. I mean, spread your money out. Let it grow. Yeah, Qualcomm. Qualcomm is an interesting one because Qualcomm is heavy China. Heavy China. A lot more than a lot of people are comfortable with. And again, China is a manipulated market. They're not even letting people sell shares right now. China is, you got to call 3 people, and each of those 3 people has to agree to sell your shares. So it's real crazy out there. But all right, man, I wanted to hit that 3 hour mark, so I can say I went 3 hours. INO is hot. SPEX. Let me just look at this real quick. I got 30 seconds. 10 seconds. Okay, SPEX. All right, guys. Let me put my head to bed. Even though I'm going to end up waking up in about 2 hours now to watch the opening on CNBC. Even though I hate what they say, at the end of the day, it's the best place for business television. So, guys, these next couple weeks are going to be some really difficult weeks for this country. And it's going to be very interesting to see whether or not our leaders are actually going to do the right thing, or they're going to get suckered into trying to cheat the system by cheapening the cost of money and actually just making problems even worse. It's going to exaggerate the situation. All right. And the problem worse would be to continue to cut all the way to zero and just exacerbate the situation. And I know I'm not pronouncing the word right, because revenues will slow up. Revenues will slow up, and then they'll have nowhere to go, because we'd already be at zero, and they'll have nowhere to go. They'll have no choice but to create a massive welfare state. And that will send the price of gold to God. No, I mean, the price of gold will just, if they come out and say, if they cut out, we go all the way to negative, it gets worse. I'm telling you right now, the bill that will have to be created. Think of the bailouts in 2009 times 10. That's how big this thing will probably have to end up getting, because they'll have to come out and buy everything. It's not going to be 2009 where they'll just have like AIG and then GM. It'll be Wells Fargo, GP. They'll have to go out and buy everything, because there'll be nowhere else to go. You know, do I buy physical gold? No, I don't buy physical gold, because no one is willing to sell me physical gold at a price that's respectable beyond spot. I know you got to make a profit, but these guys are selling you gold at spot plus 10% or spot plus, so I'm like, okay, you're already buying physical gold in the hole. I don't want to fucking do that shit. I know when I buy contracts, I know for the most part it's physically deliverable to a certain extent. They say it is. But more importantly, I'm getting it at spot. I'm getting it at what the market is asking for it. So as an American, it makes more sense for me to buy contracts than it is to buy even physical gold. That's if you're playing the futures market. But just get GLD. GLD's giving you exposure to it. At the end of the day, the U.S. dollar isn't going anywhere. We're just going to continue to lose value in it, right? But the dollar is by far the most important currency, the most wanted, the most desired currency. That's not going anywhere. The value of gold will go higher, but the dollar is always going to be king. I don't even trip on that. He said they should let us trade FX 24/7, only Sunday off. I don't know. We'll see on that. Your advice for today, watch. Just sit and watch. If you see a dip buying opportunity, like I said, if you see some levels holding, enter a small long position. But if you don't have the capital to risk, just sit and watch. Just sit and watch. If you don't have any capital at all right now in the market, man, get yourself some small position of GLD. Yeah, somebody say you're long to 20. Get yourself some small gold. Put something to work out there. You can't really go wrong with that. Carrot bars is a scam. Anybody that sells you cryptocurrency backed by gold is a scam, because everybody's just going to want the gold. This just makes no sense to have cryptocurrency backed by gold. Nobody wants the cryptocurrency. Everybody wants the gold. So what's the point of the cryptocurrency? Makes no sense. Nobody's going to want that. Just give me the gold. Why the fuck I want this cryptocurrency for? Why is it? You're backing it by gold because the crypto's not worth anything. So just give me the gold. All right. Let me get out of here because I can spend another 3 hours on. You guys know how it is. Let me get some kind of sleep tonight, and the market opens, and we'll see what happens. So, shout out to everybody who was in the chat room with me. I appreciate y'all. Shout out to everybody who was in the chat room. Let me see here. Do I get my? Gotta do my sign out, right? I don't know if you guys can even hear. Can y'all hear my music? Is my music on? I don't think so. All right, so I appreciate you guys. Jermaine Gill, Bigger H, Legendary H, Rel, Pool Trader. Who else was in here? T. Ray K, Lauren K, Patrick Grind Jean. Who else was in here? I know Bat Scientist. Bat Scientist was in here. Appreciate you, Bats. Magazog, appreciate you. Vic Smith, thank you so much, sir. Van Nasabin, thank you, sir. Legendary 8s, thank you. Who else was in? Rel, appreciate you, man. All the people who, LK Rob, Brandon Harris, Siobhan Fancy. Who else was in here? Javier Mosby, Lennox John. All you guys who watch me every day, who watch the videos I put out. I appreciate you guys and how inconsistent I am at these live shows. I appreciate y'all. Until next time, again, stay vigilant, make smart, good trades, common sense trades. Go common sense, guys. Common sense trades. There's no need to take unnecessary risks. Y'all know where this is going. All right, just make the common sense trades. Till next time, trade well.